Well, hello. Welcome to this Wednesday at 7:30 broadcast with Spiritual School of Learning, where all things are spiritual. All right. I am your host on tonight, this evening, Apostle Lisa Graves. And as I always say, welcome to my world. Thank you for allowing me in your world on this evening. And I hope you had a beautiful day. We're your hosts, Janelle Broadnex and Apostle Lisa Graves. We come to you on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So we welcome you wherever you're watching us as your favorite broadcast media, social media. So we will like to, at this point, welcome you all again, saying, and listen, Bishop Jamel Brown won't be with us on tonight, uh, but he wish all of you well, and he loves you, okay? And we're going to send him some great energy, good, positive vibe. Y'all ready? Let's do it. Get those hands ready. Woo! Send you those positive, vibrational energy. And we thank you. We love you. And we're going to miss you on tonight. And as we all know, he has a beautiful smile, just like I do. But hey, and you all do too. Um, we've been coming to you again, Facebook, Instagram, and as well as YouTube. You can find us on those social media. You can also go back and look at our previous broadcasts that we have of our spiritual school of learning right here at 7:30 every Wednesday. And but you can also go there and look at some of our previous broadcasts. I believe that it will bless you if you do. And please, sir and ma'am, we welcome you to share this content. Please, okay, let's get it viral as well as comment, say as you please, as you like, as long as it's positive, even if it's not, but you're making a statement. It's okay, we'll get around it. However, also, invite some people in. Invite family, friends, associates, colleagues. Invite them in on this broadcast on tonight. Okay? We would love to have them as a guest, as a visitor. So we do welcome all of you who are returning, and we welcome all of you who are new. All right? So we hope you enjoyed this lesson's teaching. Now, y'all know we've been working on our healing. I hope you're still working on your identity healing, right? And growing in all aspects. And last week we talking about what? Spirit, the fruit of the spiritual from a different perspective. And so if you missed that broadcast, you need to go back and watch that broadcast. That was awesome to from a different angle than where we've been taught. So I believe it will bless you. So since we've been talking about the fruit of the spirit, which deals with our identity and deals with our character, okay, we're going to continue in that growth and expanding and becoming the better version of ourselves, okay? And whatever religion you're in, and whatever belief you're in, and wherever you are, okay, as your spiritual life, we're going to continue to grow and evolve. How about that? So, on tonight, as I was thinking about the fruit of the Spirit, and we're working on character and our identity and who we are, and healing from those expectations of what people think you should be and what you think people should be. Oh, okay. So continue to grow in that as well. So on tonight, I am going to have some notes so I can stay focused, and you all are welcome to join in and participate. Okay, so tonight, you all, I think it's such a blessing as we've been dealing with our character, evolving, and even resolving our character. Sometimes we have to resolve it. We have to kind of go within. All right. So I feel like we should pray. Let's do a little exaltation prayer. Okay. Meditation prayer. God, we just thank you for this evening. We thank you for everyone who's participating live with us on tonight. We also thank you for those who will be showing and showing up after this broadcast. And God, we ask that you give them a ear to hear, and a heart to receive, and an eye, yes, to discern. We thank you. We give you glory. We honor you on this beautiful night, this beautiful day that we had. Thank you for your safety, your protection, and your security. Thank you for your healing and your manifestation in our lives. We bless you and we bless each one of you. And thank you for blessing us in the name of Yeshua the Christ. Amen. Okay, so we're going to talk about, since we talked about the fruit of the Spirit and how that goes, we're going to talk about how to develop the God given gifts within. Because we talked about how the fruit of the Spirit is already in within us. We just need to what? Develop it, evolve it more, maybe become more mastery of those part of the fruit of the Spirit that we need to master. So we're going to talk about the gifts, the God given gifts, okay, within us, within you. And so I believe that this will bless us along with the spiritual fruit of the Spirit. This will also bless us in our gifting. And those of you, I want you to know you're already gifted. It's already in you. Some of you don't know or haven't become aware of them, but I'm going to show you how you can become aware of your God given gifts. That's going to be the aha moment for you so that you can walk in it and experience it as well as other experience your God given gifts. Okay. So we're going to stand on some scriptures on today. First Peter 4:10. As every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another. So as we have been giving these gifts, we minister to one another with these gifts, right? So that's a part of serving. And some of us, we need the fruit of the Spirit to serve, know how to humble and serve. Anyways, we're evolving, right? Okay. Second Timothy 1:6. Wherefore, I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gifts of God which is in you. So we're going to stir up these gifts like we stirred up the fruit of the spirits and made us aware of our weakness and our strength. We're going to do that also with God's gift that He's giving within us to utilize to help minister to one another. Okay. And that's what we're going to do on tonight. So we're going to develop those gifts and we're going to find out, and you're going to start to realize and become more aware what those gifts that you have in you. Okay, you're going to become, this is the fascinating part, because a lot of us, we kind of still guessing. Okay, how long you been in ministry? Because some of us all over the place. Some of us trying to take other people's gifts and use other people's gifts, and it's not your authentic self. You want to stay in your divine, authentic self when it comes to your God given gifts. All right? Now, that's different than the spiritual fruit of the Spirit gifts, because we all need to develop that or have developed those areas, right? But the God given gifts are for you and you to utilize in your authentic way, in your authentic character. Okay? Can't use anyone's gift the way they use it. Okay. And even though you can desire and want it and look up to it, that just might not be your gift. And then sometimes if we try to do something, we start to question, well, why did it not work for me? Right? And why is it tripping on me? Because it seems to work for them. Well, you might be using it in the wrong manner, which is out of your authenticness. Okay? So, and it's so good to get to know you, get to know yourself, sit with yourself, meditate, and find out your authenticness. Find out who you really are and who God says you are. Okay? So forget about what other people have said and what they conclude. Okay? You conclude who you are. Okay? Now, notice I said we're going to develop the gifts. We're not going to find the gifts. No, but we are going to try to help you. Now, we're not even going to try. We're going to help you become aware of the gifts, okay? At the same time as developing the gifts that you have already come aware of or the gifts that you would begin to become aware of, okay? So sometimes we spend all our years asking, what is my gift? What am I supposed to be doing? What is my purpose? What did God put inside of me? What did God put inside of me? But many times the evidence of the gifts has been showing up throughout our lives. Believe it or not, you all, the gifts have been showing up. We just haven't recognized them. Our purpose has even been recognized. It has been showing up. Because a lot of times, if you think about it, people have said it. They have said, oh, you're good at that. Oh, wow, thank you. Some people have recognized the purpose and the gifts, and you still like, and sometimes we can be very hard and strict on ourselves and think that we are not capable, of doing what we're doing, exactly what we're doing. Believe it or not, you're capable. Trust me, you are. So many times the evidence are shown up in our lives, many evidence of our many gifts. A lot of us have many God-given gifts, but you got to know when to use them and how to use them. And we'll get into some of that, okay? And that might be a different teaching, okay? But we're definitely going to find out what those gifts are, okay? And become aware of them. So, what we have been given that I haven't, what have I been given that I fully haven't developed yet? Well, in order to develop those gifts, we got to know what they are. We got to know what the God given gifts are, right? So, here's some God given gifts that might hit you, that you might realize that I might mention on tonight. And you say, oh, that's me. Oh my God, I've heard people say that. Oh my God, I even feel good. It aligns with me when I do that. Oh my God, oh, that is me. I do that all the time and it feels good. It makes me happy because it makes other people happy, right? So you might find out some of these God given gifts, but not have been aware of them. All right, so let's go there. There are abilities, and there are all abilities, and these are ideas. Sometimes we could come up with good ideas. That's a God given gift. Wisdom, creativity, compassion, leadership, discernment, communication, healing, presence, teaching ability, artistic expressions, business insight, and spiritual sensitivity have already been planted within us all. Some one of these groups are planted in us. So, which one do you feel have truly been planted and have developed, mature, and been seen and recognized? Good question, right? A gift may be God given, but development is our responsibility. So we all have been given gifts, whether in all the aspects that I just named, we all have been given certain gifts, and some more, and some will evolve. And we'll go into that in a minute. So, but one thing I want you to remember and focus on is responsibility and accountability. And we talked about that with our character, with the fruit of the Spirit, being accountable and responsible to help yourself evolve and expand and grow in these areas. Okay? It's your responsibility to get into that place that you can develop these particular gifts. Now, Paul told Timothy, and now I'm telling you, stir up the gifts which is in you. That's what I'm telling you. Paul told Timothy that, and I'm telling you in 2 Timothy 1 and 6, he said, stir up the gifts. We're going to stir up them gifts. You're going to become aware of what gifts that's being stirred up on tonight that's going to help you pursue the purpose in divine alignment in your life. That means something can be in you and still need to be stirred up. Recognize what has already been placed within you. So, how do we do that? The first step in developing your gift is recognizing them. So, I named all few of those gifts. Now, these gifts are categories. So, leader could be, leadership could be, a boss, entrepreneur, a manager, it can fall in those lines, okay? So teaching could be teacher, uh, mentor. All these things have a category, but gifts fall under those categories. Okay, so remember that as you're recognizing this as we're talking. So, how do we recognize our gifts? First of all, what comes naturally? What feels good? What makes you feel like this is so natural? You ain't working hard. You ain't got to figure it out. You ain't got to mimic nobody. It just comes so naturally. And it feels good when it comes. It feels so easy, right? What do people repeatedly come to me about? What do they come to you for? Do they come for mentoring? Do they come for ideas? Or they talking about their ideas? Do they come about, asking you about entrepreneurship, ministry, or do they come asking you questions? Or are you a teacher? You teaching them? What about compassion? What about encouragement? Do they come for you for those? Hello, Sonia. How are you? Welcome in on tonight. So, what do people come to you most likely about that seem to come so easily? And you go, wow, thank you. They come to you and you use these particular gifts that God has given you, that's in you. And it comes so naturally that people seek you out the most for those particular gifts. Okay? So that's one way how you can recognize your gift. What can I do that feels almost effortlessly, which is easy to me, even though other people find it difficult? Like I said, if drawing comes difficult, that might not be your gift. Or it might be something you can go and learn and develop. But it would come easy for someone who's naturally has the gift to able to draw. I think about Amari, one of our painters at our ministry. He could just get up there and he just painting. The song can be going, the sermon can be going, all the shouting can be going, and he just not being touched by anything or distracted by anything. He just gliding and moving so easily. And if I get up there, I might be wanting to look around, see what y'all. I might even be comment on what the pastor's saying. I couldn't stay concentrated and my painting be all over the place. But I used to paint when I was younger. I know I have that art. I'll show you one. I have the ability to paint. Yeah, I have it. I have it. But I need to develop it, a little bit more. But that's just something that I do a habitual habit or for fun. So some gifts come for fun, for other people to just enjoy what you've completed. All right. So what comes naturally to me? Okay. What does it come? How does it feel? What moves on my heart? What problems do I naturally want to solve? Some of you have a problem solving. No. Some of you have a problem. I want to say it kind of funny, but you always got to resolve something. You always have this resolution. Anything broke, you got to figure out how to fix it. Anything that needs to be reevaluated, you got to reevaluate it. That's resolution. So you may have the gift to resolve things, to fix broken things, maybe even maybe furniture. Even if it's that. And people get enjoyment out of fixing furniture. But sometimes we have resolution that we can help people solve problems and solutions in their lives, right? Situations in their lives. So if that makes you and moves you and it makes you feel good and feel complete, and you can feel that God is present, present is within you, doing it with you. Oh, that's your gift. That's the God-given gift. So what problems come naturally that you can resolve? What do I feel energized when I'm doing it? Your gift may leave clues throughout your life. Maybe you have always been the person people call when they need an encouragement. Maybe you've always been able to organize people. Oh, yes, that's my daughter. She is a great organizer. Oh, my God, amongst many other gifts. And again, you could be organizing someone home, their office, or organizing a situation. You could be organizing, listen, their calendar, their schedule. You could organize their financial. Anybody? Anybody? Anybody can help organize my financial? Okay. 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 All right. Just figure that's you and give me a call. Okay. So you find that you can do that, organizing, putting things in perspective and letting people see the perspective of things and other things that you can share and help them see. Okay. Hey, that's another gift. All right. Maybe you've always been able to see possibilities others people don't see in themselves. Oh, 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 you're the optimistic person. You're the person with the gift of optimistic. Oh, I know that can happen. Oh, I know that. Oh, girl, you can do that. Child, you got that one, right? Yeah, that's part of that encouragement. But you're optimistic about, girl, that'll work out. I know it's a big problem. I know you ain't got but $1 in your bank account, maybe 1 cent. But girl, I'm optimistic that you're going to get through this. You're going to beat this financial challenge and you're going to become more organized. Yes, you are. So you may be, and I believe in all of that. I believe all of us have the optimistic gift, the gift of possibilities, to see beyond the situation. I think we all have that gift. Sometimes we just don't have the gift when it comes to us. Okay. Okay, Bishop Barnett. Okay, somebody been trying to get in touch. Call me, please. Okay, he's not on tonight. He might be watching, but I'm for sure he'll get the message. Bless you. So, see, everybody recognize Bishop Jamel's gift. So he better know he is. Amen. I know he do. So But also understand that even though some of these gifts, you may say, well, I could do that, but I'm not that good. Well, let me tell you something. You'd be surprised as you continue to use them and learn how to develop them and be taught. Guess what? They'll become stronger and stronger the more you use it. So don't sit on these gifts. Okay, some of you have the gifts for business. Maybe you know how to bring peace into a chaotic situation. So don't miss something simply because it comes easily to you. Sometimes what feels ordinary to you is extraordinary to someone else. Wow. Have you ever had somebody say, wow, I never think of that. Wow, you did that so easily. How did you see that? That's it. Don't excuse it, okay? Another thing in recognizing your gifts is to, first of all, not compare your gifts with someone else because they may have developed that gift and worked on that gift, and you may have that gift. The best thing that you could do is to study them, become a shadow, an intern, and to learn how you could develop that gift that I got that gift, but it's not as good as theirs. I don't want to be good like them. I always say I want to be like you when I grow up. So when I want to be like somebody that when I grow up, I'm gonna go around. And another thing we ought to be able to stomach is corrective correction because you're gonna have to be corrected, and that's part of the learning. Okay, so don't compare your gift and how you use your gift because you're going to use your gift different. Please, you may use person, place, or things to do your gifts, objects. Some people just do them. Like me, I have the prophetic gift. I don't need the tarot cards and all the other stuff. I naturally can just see, hear, and know. Okay. And just prophesy. So I don't need the crystals to heal, or the oil, or the cross, or the Bible. I just need to believe and know that God is going to use me. And I know the possibilities that you could be healed just with me praying for you or touching you, however the case may be. So remember, these gifts are developed and you learn as you use them. So don't sit on them and say, oh, I need to go to school, or no, I can't do it. No, I got to wait when I'm put together. I got to wait when I get more money in the bank. So I cannot. I had a lady who's accountant, seriously. And she says, we need to get your financial in order. I said, I don't even have I have a bank account, but it ain't nothing in it. He said, well, we'll start with zero. We'll start with zero. Best place to start. Oh, so guess what? The best place to start is at the ground level when it's come to learning and using your God-given gifts. Start at ground zero if you have to, okay? But do not excuse it because you have to start at ground zero. Just because I had a bank account, I was excusing the fact that I even had one. When you ain't got but a 0.0, maybe 110, 1 penny in there, but great place to start, right? Now, so Romans 12:6, having then give difference according to the grace that is given to you. So gifts come with grace. Some people cannot tolerate teaching someone. They get frustrated if they have to keep repeating themselves. You know, some people just get frustrated when people don't get it. I mean, I'm a person, you better have grace teaching me something. Because first of all, I might forget what you just said and have to ask you to repeat it. And then even after you repeat it, I have to get an understanding. And then I might forget the understanding and have to have you to repeat the understanding so that I can get the understanding. And then, so you better have grace with people like me when it comes to that, which means grace means that you're not going to get frustrated, you're not going to get irritated, you're not going to get tired in doing your God given gifts. You're going to flow and allow it to be. And it's going to, okay, okay, it's okay, this is okay. All right, it's okay, I got you. So, guess what they're going to do? They're going to come from a different perspective to show me and see if I can understand it from that angle. See that part. So, grace comes with all of that God has given you. All right. So you're going to have the grace. You're not going to get tired and frustrated. You're not going to be overwhelmed too much. If you're becoming overwhelmed and frustrated and miserable, that might not be the God given grace that God's giving you. It may be a gift that you can use every now and then, but that might not be something that you can utilize every day, all day. Because if it makes you tired and wear out, forget about it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're in ministry, a pastor, have a pastor, whatever, you have a business, whatever, and you finding it that you're frustrated and you're overwhelmed and you're crying and you're tired and you're mad and disappointed and you're out of sorts and you see no possibility and you're not optimistic, go back to ground zero and find out where in those areas where you can grow in grace to help you not become those things. Because it's something there that you don't have grace with, or have, the grace haven't evolved in those areas in your being a business owner that can frustrate you, or you know what I'm saying? So if you're finding in that area that you're getting like out of sorts, then there may be something in there that you have not developed the grace in. Just figure that part out. And you may have to find somebody who have a resolution gift that can help you with that, okay? And who's optimistic about that, okay? So, and to encourage you. So just understand that. But at the same time, is that something that you're supposed to be doing? Just because you have the gift to lead doesn't mean you're supposed to have and run a church. Maybe you're not supposed to have a business. Maybe you're supposed to lead differently. Maybe lead, in a group section, or maybe be a leader, on a job. It may not be that particular area as far as a leader. Okay, so think about that part as well as you're dealing with these frustrations. Okay, and figuring out, um, why don't I have grace? Why am I frustrated? Why am I mad? you know. And I'm not gonna say that because you get frustrated and this and that doesn't mean that you're not to be in that position, and that isn't a gift, but it could be that you may need to grow in grace in that area, somewhere in that area. Okay, maybe, um if you get frustrated with telling somebody the same thing, and well, you have the grace to say, well, I need patience with this individual. So you may have to grow in grace with patience within your teaching gift. Okay? You see what I'm saying there? I hope that helped you. I hope that helped you. Okay, so your gifts are going to be very different. So do not, compare your gifts with someone else. Different doesn't mean less important. Different doesn't mean less spiritual. Different doesn't mean you're underqualified. No, okay? Doesn't mean any of that. You cannot fully develop your gift while constantly wishing you had somebody else's. You need to find out what is yours. If you're a teacher, teach. If you're encouraged, encourage. If you're a builder, build. If you're a visionary, envision. If you're an administrator, organize. If you're an entrepreneur, create. If you're a caregiver, care. If you're a leader, lead. Your gift does not have to look like somebody else's gift to be valuable. That part. Just because they may be leading and having a big, massive church doesn't mean that your talk group is less valuable than somebody that has a big church. Because your little sect group is very valuable, especially if people are showing up. Especially if people are showing up. So if people are showing up and utilizing your gifts, guess what? It's very, very valuable. No matter how many people you have, no matter how much money you got, no matter how much I want to say um, publicity you have, you may not be a public motivational speaker and recognized all on TV. You might just be recognized on YouTube. That's okay. You might just be recognized in your organization, at your job. It's okay. You might just only be recognized within your family. It's okay. It's still importantly valuable because people are utilizing it to help them grow in whatever situation you're helping them in. Okay? Your gift does not have to look like no one else. Okay? Um, the question I want you to know, why can I not do what they do? Like I said, why? I mean, I used to paint and do all that. Why I can't do it like him? You know, he could just do it. I would do it like him. And what would happen if I see myself unqualified because I can't do it like Amari? Guess what's going to happen? I won't be able to do this. And y'all, I had to follow the color lines. Yeah, I followed the color lines. Yeah, okay. So that wasn't free-handed. It was, free painted. That was by color, but I stayed within the line and I was able to dip my colors together, right? So with Amari, and we have another one, Louise, Minister Tika Louise. Guess what? They can paint and not have to be in a line. Like they don't need the colors. They just put them. Oh gosh! But does that diminish me? No, no. Does it keep me from doing it? Even though if I'm not doing openly, publicly, and everybody see it? No, I'm still do it. Because when somebody looks at it, they go, wow. It inspires them and influences them to try something that might not go public or viral. All right. But it's important to them because I can look at that and say, I did that. I can show it off like I'm doing now. All right. So, so the question is not why can I do what they do? The question is how can I become the fullest expression of what God placed in me? That's the question. What is in me that can be God expression within the God given gifts He given me? Having the potential to practice that and to do that. Good evening. Glad you're on. So, what gift, even if you have to practice, your gift must be practiced. Can't just get up there and think you're going to do it. I think it took Amari and Louise them great practice. Probably got some teaching, went to some class, looked at some videos, did whatever, got them a mentor, and boom, came so easy and ever so easy. That's you with your gifts. All right. So having the potential is always there. So develop that gift, develop who God is. I had surgery on my little trigger finger, y'all. It's good. It was last Tuesday. So I kind of decorated it, with I think kind of decorated it, to camouflage it a little bit, make it kind of dainty. So little things. See, I'm a kind of a designer. I like beautiful things. So I kind of solve problems and then, make things. This is so just like this is, but how can I fix that? So I solved the problem. Came up with a good idea, right? So hey. So anyway, so you have the potential to grow, and you have the potential to be taught, okay? But you got to use them. You got to let people see them so that who does have that development can say, wow, and help you because they see it in you. A person may have a beautiful voice, but if they never train it, their abilities may remain limited. So we don't want to limit our gifts, okay? So um, develop these gifts, recognize them, and usually how you recognize them is what comes so easily to you, and what do people recognize about you in those gifts. And they telling you all the time, you're a good organizer. Man, you really can organize. Man, you really have a beautiful voice. Man, you really can paint. You really can draw. Man, you have leadership skills. Wow. You're a good administrator, whatever that is that you've helped them in. Okay? And believe it or not, trust me, it's a building block. People are going to build. So you might train them in their one area in developing, and they may go somewhere else, and God send them to someone else to develop them even the more. That's why I have a problem with some of these um, organizations. Organizations. You can't outgrow organizations like church, and you can even outgrow your job. You may can only reach a certain level, and maybe you developed over that level, and sometimes you may have to find a job that can accommodate that level. So you can't just stay stagnated. Sometimes you have to evolve, and sometimes it may mean to change your environment, change the mentor, change the leader, change the teacher. Sorry, as bad as we hate to let that go, but you can't evolve in staying in the same place all the time. So if you go somewhere and visit, and you see, oh my God, this is this is what I need right now, but I belong over here. Ugh, and I'm just stagnated. I'm not going no further. Ugh. Well, that's some reckoning that you may have to come within yourself. And you may have to leave for a season. You don't stay in the 10th grade forever. If you stayed in the 10th grade, you would never evolve. So when you start to see that I'm at level 11th grade level, you got to leave the teacher who's no longer teaching. She's not teaching 11th grade level. I'm not saying that that 10th grade teacher isn't less valuable. It's just that that's where she is and he is, or that organization is right now, or the job. Until they level up, until she decides, I can teach 11th graders, then you can go back to her class, right? You can stay up under that teacher. But in most likely, in most cases, sometimes we got to change our environment, change our person. Sorry, okay? So, someone may have the leadership abilities, but they still need to learn how to communicate and work with people. Again, if you are frustrated and you're finding yourself feeling lost, that is a sign that it is time to change your environment. Because if they can't answer your questions or help you, teach you beyond the level where you are, and they can't take you to the next round in development, even in your character, eh, yeah, sorry, I apologize. Yeah, you gotta level up. You gotta level up. Okay? But guess what? Sometimes we have to go back to the elementary teachings just to revalue, or I go back to my teachers that in Florida. Sometimes I go back and sit up under them. And some of them have evolved, you know? But sometimes I have to go back to the elementary teaching and sometimes to bounce back up. Because sometimes in that elementary teacher that they taught me and that they have evolved, I could go back and get a recap. And there's nothing wrong with going back to get a recap and sitting up under that familiarity, but don't stay there. Take what they have evolved in from that foundation that they've brought you from and bringing you to, that they too can elevate you, even if you have to go back. And I do sometimes. I go back. So, but God gave you these gifts. Now, God has given you these seeds, doesn't remove the responsibility for you to cultivate it. Some of us get these gifts, recognize the gifts, and feel because people are recognizing you in the gifts, sometimes we feel again that we have evolved and that no one can teach us. Or even that person that you are with can't teach you because you feel like you've overcame. So be careful when it comes to environmental or teaching and mentoring changing, because we can get the big head and think we're more than them because you think they haven't gotten there. Sometimes they're moving at a pace that everybody has to move with them, even those who's ready to level up. Sometimes we just have to be patient. So that might be a gift that you might need to just evolve in, being patient. And so you make it go to them and talk to them. Listen, you keep talking about the same things that I've gone through. I've evolved from over above that. Can we, what can we do? And they will explain, well, now that I know you're ready, let me see if everybody else ready. Because I don't want to stagnate anybody. And maybe I have to do a intermediate class. Maybe I have to do an advanced class for those who are ready. And they break up the class. So they, come on. They may have to do some private teachings to you. So don't feel like you always got to leave, but just talk to them that one and see the possibilities, right? And them helping you grow even more. So, again, responsibility is yours, it's not theirs. If they don't know, they can't help you. But if you tell them it's your responsibility to go to them with humility and say, hey, some of the stuff that you're teaching on, I've already kind of know. Um, and I'm for sure there's other things I don't know that can really help me elevate them more, um, what can we do about that? I know they don't want you stagnated, neither do you want to be stagnated, right? So the seed, if you take a plant seed and put it on the table, it's not going to grow just sitting on the table. So don't sit your seed in your belly, okay? Because it ain't going to grow. You don't let it out and allow other people to help you to grow it. You got to nurture it, to help you to water it and nurture it and watch it grow and develop it, right? And prune it sometimes and replant it sometimes, all right? Going back to ground zero sometimes. So please cultivate the gift. Come responsible of cultivating. Don't always allow someone else responsibility that they may know. Sometimes they don't know when you're ready to be pruned or to go another level or to be watered. Even plants let you know when they need to be watered. Even plants lets you know when you need a bigger pot. Even plants know they can inform you, so you have to inform them. So they can take the responsibility to let you know. You take up the responsibility to know. I had someone to tell me that just last week, which was Sunday, we ain't gonna make no names, talk about time for me to. I said, no, no. Uh, Again, sometimes they can see it and other people can see and they want to cultivate it, but you gotta want it. You gotta want that seed to be planted and grow and cultivated. All right. So your gift needs cultivating. You can read, study, practice, take classes, listen, ask questions, find mentor, accept constructive correction, do the work. Your gift may be divine, but your development requires discipline because you got to know when to use the gift, how to use the gift, different levels of the gift. Okay, all the real perspectives of the gift. Oh yeah. Sometimes people know they have gifts, but fear keeps them from using the gift because they feel like they don't know enough, or they feel like they're not deserving to use the gift, or they don't feel maybe accountable or responsible enough. But you develop that. Now that you know that, some of you may not be confident. Some of you may feel like everything, you got to get everything in perfect. You got to be, I can't be a cuss. I can't be in the pulpit. I can't do, I got to stop. No, 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 no. Gifts come without repentance. Gift comes without repentance. Means you don't have to apologize for the fact that you don't know everything about the gift yet. So you can feel confident that you can feel confident that I don't know everything, but I'm practicing, I'm learning that I recognize that I have this gift and I don't have to be perfect. When somebody recognizes me, you may get people who don't recognize the gift. I've seen people go to a pastor and I tell them that I'm ready to be a pastor and they recognize that I'm ready to be a pastor and they looking at you like, who told you that? So some people have a problem with what people may say if they use those gifts. Yeah, some people may have a problem. You ain't got to wait for nobody to give you no title. I'm already operating in the gifts that naturally, I believe I'm already operating in the gifts. And obviously, the person recognized that I need to level up in my gifts in my ministry and whatever. And but I had to move um, when I feel I'm aligned. with that, if that makes sense. I have to feel aligned. In other words, I have to feel that it is the season and the timing for me to, um, I can operate in the gifts without that title, or I can operate as a leader without the title. I can operate as a teacher without the title of teaching. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to recognize and embody those gifts before the title at times. So even if you ain't got the title, recognize that the gift is there. Use those God-given gifts. And when people recognize it or not, it's okay. You still got the gift. Okay? Like I tell people, I walk in the office of a prophet. I walk in the office of an apostle. Okay? Administrator. I walk in the office of it where other people, they can prophesy when it's given for them to prophesy. Me, I could prophesy to drop a dime. I ain't even got it, just happen. All right, that's the office. And I could see in that office of the prophetic, there's different perspectives and realms of operating the gift and knowing when to use the gift, how to use the gifts, okay? And an office of a prophet where somebody just has the gift to do it at any point of given time. Doesn't mean they can't develop that gift to walk and become the office of a prophet. You can actually cultivate that and develop that prophetic gift to become where you can walk in the office of it and be ordained as a prophet, right? So, but in the meantime, you have the gift to prophesy. Above all things, that's one thing God will wants to do. Above all the gifts, prophesy, encourage one another. And that's what prophecy do. It edifies, encourages, and it exalts. That's what prophecy does. Exalts, edify, and it encourages. If it's making you feel doom and gloom, did you feel some type of way? Eh, discern. Discern. But that's what prophecy really does. It edifies, it encourages, and it exalts. It exalts you, it edifies you, it encourages you, right? That's what prophecy does. So see the office, most people don't understand that part of the prophetic realm. But I do, because I walk in the office of it and I come to learn and develop and be trained and taught as I watch. Some people you can't be taught. Even in your tongue language, you can't be taught. It just comes naturally, God-given gift. Okay? So just remember that. Remember, you are going to be nervous. You are going to start small. You may not even have no applause because you're still learning, and it's okay. All right? Zechariah 4:10. Don't despise small beginnings. The first time you do something may not look like the 100th time, and that's okay. All right? Development requires development requires permission to grow. So allow yourself to give yourself permission to grow in the gifts that you're now becoming to recognize. Some of you, I've already said it, how do you recognize your gift or the office of that gift is because you're doing it every day. You feel good about it. It comes easy. It doesn't frustrate you. It doesn't, it just happens naturally, just like talking, right? As people recognize that gift and they kind of see that gift. So, all right, and you ain't even got the title. So your gift can grow if you give yourself permission to mature and master that gift. All right? This is especially important in your spiritual communities. Sometimes when we hear God's given gifts, we immediately think about preaching, prophecy, apostleship, teaching, singing, deaconship, deacon, you name it. That's the first thing we think about in this community is the spiritual gifts, right? But God's given gifts can manifest throughout life. It can manifest in your business, education, technology, art, music, counseling, parenting, writing, community leadership, cooking, design, healthcare, entrepreneurship, problem solving, hospitality, administration, encouragement. Your gift doesn't become sacred simply because you're standing behind a pulpit. Your life is the platform that makes it sacred. Mm, mm. So you make it sacred, not the pulpit, not the mass of people, not being in the church, not being in the, hey, you can be right in your house. And the little ones can see your leadership. They can see your wisdom. They can see your understanding, your knowledge. And you are sacred to them. Okay? Because why? You're helping them. All right? And we got some people, they don't even know when they're being healed. And they can feel it can feel like you're being kind of overlooked because you think they don't see your sacredness, your sacrifice in helping them. And they can kind of play it down by making you feel some type of way, right? Don't let that happen to you. Learn to move in grace. So when it does, you're moving in grace. You still can do what you're called and designed to do in using your gifts. All right? So y'all might not didn't say that picture look good. I don't need y'all to tell me it look good. I already know it look good. All right? So remember that. Remember that. You don't need nobody or something big to know that your gifts are just as important and sacred because you're sacred using the gifts. God gave it to you. That's what makes it sacred. Okay? So take these gifts and make sure that your character grows with the gifts. Don't become arrogant, boastful, like nobody can tell you nothing. See, people can tell me all day, hey, I might have mastery and walk in the office as apostle or prophet, but if I'm trying to evolve and grow more in learning the dynamics of it, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna tell me, well, and I'm gonna be like, what? Tell me, teach me, train me, help me. So, and our characters have to be built because sometimes some of us using our gifts and we got attitudes. If you got an attitude, maybe that's not the gift for you. If you're frustrated and you get mad using your gift because it may not be the grace God's giving you for that particular gift. You may have it, like I said, you may can prophesy, but you may not have the grace to walk in the office of a prophet because trouble comes with that, as they may say. Trouble comes with anything. It don't just come because you're an apostle, bishop, or a prophet, or in the ministry. Honey, challenges come in any aspect or anything. You could just be a lay member and look at them how they tripping and having problems. So the situation. So come on now. So, but how your character and how you present these gifts, walk in these gifts, is very important that you build good character. Go over there and talk. We talked about the fruit of the spirit. Go over there and learn about these fruits of the spirit and see where you need to be developed within those gifts. It'll help you. All right. And we talking about coming from a different perspective here. Not what we learn in our biblical churches and things like that. Great. Those are foundations. Thank God for them. However, there's always a building. You can't put the roof on the foundation. You got to build to get to the what? To the roof. Okay? Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. So, but character determines what happens after the door is open. So even if you feel good and you doing your thing, and these open these doors, you get to preach at all these, and you get to be invited on somebody, social media, you get to be invited in their organization, their churches, their classroom. You get to teach in your job on particular people. Please don't go in there with arrogance and like you all of that. You already know you all of that. So you ain't got to show it or prove it anyway, because your gifts is going to show how awesome you are. You ain't got to have all that pride and arrogance. Your gifts so sacred that the expression of God is going to show you them how sacred and important that you are, that they would be in that class and take it seriously and take you seriously. Right? All right now. So develop that gift. Develop your character. Go over there in the fruit of the spirit. So while you're developing your gift, develop yourself. Develop patience, humility, integrity. Don't add to the prophecy or take away. Don't teach or add. Yeah, I know what I mean. Have integrity. Be honest. Have humility. Emotional maturity. Can't be getting off the rockets so quick because somebody said something. Have discipline. All this is in the spiritual fruit of the spirit. Have compassion with people. Yeah, that grace. Be accountable. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Be accountable to say, oh, I missed it. I'm wrong. I need help. Y'all, what did I miss? Y'all help me now. Okay? Be accountable. That's part of being accountable. Develop wisdom in that gift, because the goal isn't simply to become the gift. The goal is to become whole enough to carry the gift responsibility. Let me say that again. The goal is not to simply to carry the gifts. We all want the gifts, but do you have the character? Are you whole enough? Are you healed enough to carry the responsibility of that gift? Your gift should not destroy you. Your gift should not destroy you or the person. The gift should not make you arrogant. Your gift should not cause you to mistreat people. The more influence you receive, the more responsibility you carry. So you may be a prophet, but if you want to walk in the office of the prophet, there's some responsibilities. You might be a teacher and then want to be a preacher. There's some responsibilities. There's some character. hmm There's some fruit of the spirit. Your gift was never only about you. First Peter 4:10 says, "As every man hath received a gift, even so minister the same one to one another." Your gift has an assignment connected to other people. Someone needs so someone needs what you carry. Someone needs your story, someone needs your wisdom, someone needs your creativity, someone needs your compassion. On down, on down. Some some people they need business sense. You know what I'm saying? They need business character. They need to know how to dress like a business person. Someone needs the book you haven't written. Some of you need the class you haven't taught. Some needs the encouragement you've been afraid to give. Someone needs the idea that you've been sitting on. So guess what? These gifts that we have and you've recognized are not just for you. I've always said People said, well, can't you, you know, I can hear God for myself, but the gift ain't for me. The gift was not given for me to use it for me alone. The gift was meant for others. The gift was meant for me to prophetically hear the voice of God for individual. Right? Yes, I can hear God for myself, but I too need the office of the prophet or the gifter of the prophecy gift to speak into my life to bring confirmation, to edify, to encourage, and to exalt me in those gifts or in that I heard God speak to me about. So I too need your gifts. All right? So it kind of goes back and forth here, right? So this is why we cannot allow fear to bury what God has placed within us, because if we allow fear to stop us and not inadequately stop us, someone is losing out. Someone is going to suffer. And I'm going to believe it or not, we even be losing out and we suffer because we're not using the gifts for others. You don't know who will bless you by using that gift. And you don't know who you're going to bless by using the gift. You use the gift, whatever level you're on, that person would say, wow, thank you. Here. Who knows, right? Your name may go on the billboard. Come on, y'all. So it's not just, but if you don't utilize the gift, you suffer, that person suffer, because now they going struggling through something that you can give them what God said, or teaching or mentoring or whatever, a picture or whatever. Some people have the gift of giving. It does not frustrate them or scare them when they do not have the financial or they get in a financial bind. They have the gift to give. Some people say they got the gift of gab. They do not have a problem talking to you all day, all night, all evening, all morning, all through the sleep, all while you sleep. Some people have the gift of gab. If you use them, you get your business started. You get people, they would influence somebody to what? Invest in your idea or invest in your ministry or invest in your business because they got to give to gab. hmm So we suffer if those of you that got the gift of gab and people told you you talk all the time, just learn how and when to talk and how, But that gift of gab can influence somebody' business to grow because you can influence somebody to invest in their business and you can benefit. But if they suffer, you suffer. If I suffer, and nobody gets what is needed. And everything that we, ideas, whatever, all this stuff, if an idea come to you or a creative idea or something come to you, trust me, it's needed. And it might be 5 people that come up with the same idea. Get with those people and work the idea. Don't feel alone. Do not make yourself feel like your idea is not going to be recognized if you utilize it and with someone else. Okay? Don't feel like you're going to be shouted out. And they getting all the attention and I created an idea. Hello, but you're benefiting too. Financially or some kind of way, trust me, you're benefiting. So do not be afraid that if someone you say, hey, I had the same idea. Well, what you gonna do about it? Now you need somebody to help you come and put it all together and organize it and put it all in perspective so that y'all both can do the idea. We're got so many churches that I think that if we all was called a pastor or minister, why can't some of us come together and do it together? Because we're gonna be fighting over who gonna do the pool. He gonna preach. You hogging the pulpit. You hogging the mic. Oh, you get all the people come to you oh my God. If you cannot work your gift and your ideas with other people, you might want to think about it. Because nobody can steal your show, even if you're working it with somebody. Me and Bishop Jamel Bronax, I'm his assistant. Does that make me less of an apostle? That does that make me less because I'm not doing my church right now? Does that make me less? It used to make me feel some type of way because I was so used to having my ministry where people, I'm preaching the most and I'm, come on. Y'all know. Y'all pastors know, y'all preachers know how it feels to feel needed all the time and wanted and preserved. You know what I'm saying? The special one. So sometimes if you do it with someone else, it seems like that's taken away from you. And it can feel that way. It can look that way. Why he don't ever have you in it? And why he on that? And why he on that? And why she got you up? You see what I'm saying? No. It will make you feel some kind of, that's why you can't listen. You gotta turn a deaf ear when people trying to come and make you feel like something you already feel like, because it wants you to focus and concentrate on that versus focus on and concentrate on what? Doing the purpose. So when me and Bishop Jamel came together, I was in a season. And when I was going to go back, wisdom came for me and says, well, why don't you just help Bishop and join in with him? So now I'm his assistant, even though I'm an apostle. I'm all fivefold, baby. I'm all fivefold. I've operated all of them and serving all of them, right? I've mastered these things. But then because I am an assistant, now, listen, I've been a assistant to a pastor before. So maybe God is bringing back me around for a recap. Maybe I need a little humbleness. Maybe I need to settle myself down or something. Maybe I need a little, who knows? It always can't be the hip notch, okay? But see, as pastors won't do, a lot of pastors won't do that because they want to be the main course. And if one always hogs, then that's something they have to develop is the grace is to what? Share and know when their time and when it's the other person's time. Or maybe organize, schedule. You take the first second, I take the third and fifth. He's my mouthpiece. He can speak for me. I'm his mouthpiece, and I can speak to him on his behalf. Same way he could do with me on my behalf. Now, whatever I can't speak on, I will go to him and talk to him. Same way he'll do me. And then we'll go back to the individual and then speak on their behalf about that in that particular thing. In most cases, so that doesn't make me less than. Okay, y'all? So remember that. Remember, share your gifts with one another. Don't make life so hard trying to do things by yourself. That's why we got a team. Even God is my God, the Holy Spirit, angels, the four living creatures, the ancestries, the earthly people, the spiritual people, the angry people, the good people, the mean people, the racist people. All of them are my team to help me do my purpose. Helps me grow, it helps me develop, and it lets me see what I need to develop and grow in. So it doesn't make my purpose null and dull just because y'all may hear, Apostle, Lisa is assistant to Bishop Jamel. That doesn't make it any less. We decided we just gonna come a team, make things a little easier. And when I'm ready to veer into back into my ministry is Tree of Life, International Harvest Church, but I've changed it to Tree of Life Spiritual Center. Okay, and it might even change again. I don't know before I even once I get back in. So he will assist me. So then what that means, the roles will switch. He'll come and assist me when because he know I'm needed. Just like I know he need my assistance. So we share the same ideas, we're saying the same goal, the purpose and the beliefs and everything. We share it. So guess what? We do it. So I'm for sure when the time comes, same humility I'm giving to him, the same humility he will give to me. And it won't make him any less of a bishop or less valuable or sacred. It makes him more valuable. It makes me more valuable and sacred. You know why? 'Cause ain't nothing like having an assistant. When you ain't got an assistant, and you ain't got no help, you'll learn what's valuable. When you ain't got no no leader, they can child, you know, and teacher, you ain't got to teach. You know it's valuable when you ain't got them when they gone. Let them miss a day. So y'all remember this. Pay attention to your surroundings. Don't let people knock you off your rocks with all these words. Don't let them do it. You continue to grow and evolve in your gifts that God has given you, right? And don't be afraid to use them. If you're in an organization, and I remember as I was learning my gifts, I literally, if I got a word, I had to go to my pastor and tell him, this is what I hear God saying. And it was up to her if it aligns with her. If it sounds like I'm just trying to be somebody, they don't know when to tell me to sit down. That ain't God. Sit down. I'll be like, well, dang. But when they say it's God, I'll be like, wow, I got to decide. Go and do it. But guess what? Even when they say go sit down, I begin to learn the difference of my voice and the inner voice, the God voice, and all of that. Knowing, and sometimes they say it ain't time. I'm like, well, God told me, why wouldn't He tell me if it wasn't the time? It ain't the time. So just be a little bit willing to learn and be corrected. And if you have to go and say whisper, sometimes I have to do a bishop like that. I'll be like, and he may have to tell me because it might not be the time. Sometimes I already know. Sometimes I just ask God, look, if you make room for the gift, because God makes room for the gifts, if the room comes, I'll get it. But if that room doesn't come for me to share the gift or do the gift, guess what? I languish. I I like, okay. God don't let me forget it because when it's time and the door does open, that room comes. Oh, He'll bring it back to my remembrance, baby. I was supposed to say this last week, but it just wasn't the season and time. And I always ask God to, you know, there's a lot going on. If He makes room for the gift, I'm sure to do it. Now, sometimes I can't hesitate. Sometimes I have to, but I have to know and be mature and master that part to know. And usually that pastor or person who knows that you're a master and you're a master of that gift, they know how to language and say, whoa, Lisa got a word, or Lisa said, or Lisa got to do this. And so if I have to just do it, Bishop just say, hey, because he knows I'm mature and mastered that discernment to discern when. But if I don't see this time, then it's not. Nope. And even if somebody else prophesied it, and I'm just there, like I said, a prophet weighs another prophet. So I might have. sat on it and something God jumped it over in somebody else's spirit and they got more than what I even gave them anyway. What God gave me was that. It stopped from that point and then God give them more. And I'm like, oh wow, okay. Sometimes we prophesy in turns. So I don't get mad if somebody prophesy on top of what I prophesied and they re-innovate it. Well, that's confirmation, right? So learn how to do this. We're going to talk about this some more on next Wednesday. We're going to stay in this for a minute. Okay, is that all right? We're going to stay in this for a minute because I think the time is up and we need to go on and let this go and move on with our evening. So I thank you. I love you. I do appreciate you, and for coming on. And I think we need to talk about our gift purpose and things a little bit more. And but in the meantime, I want you to reflect on this. We'll do some reflections. Um, whew, I'm trying to find where I won't be doing it too much, okay? But I do want to say this, and then we're gonna let go, okay? Reflections. So before we close, this is how we're gonna end this, okay? I want everyone to think about these three questions. What is one gift I know is within me? What have I been doing or not doing that has prevent that gift from developing? Have you not been allowing mentorship, teaching, learning, development? How you're stopping that particular gift that you recognize that's within you? And what is one intentional action that you can take this week to develop it? Is it seeking out a mentor, getting some books and read? What is it? Okay. So as you reflected on that, you know, how you can develop it, what you can do to make things work for you on that. What is the gift? All right. Closing affirmation. I'm going to just read it. I acknowledge the gifts God has placed within me. I would not compare my gift to another person's gift. I would not bury my gift because of fear. I would give myself permission to learn, practice, grow, and evolve. I will develop my mind. I will develop my character. I will develop my spiritual awareness. I will make room for the gift within me to come forward. I and forward. What God's placed within me has a purpose. What God placed within me has value. What God has placed within me has an assignment. I stir up the gifts within me. I develop it. I honor it. I use it. And I allow myself to become an expression of the divine gift God placed within me. And so it is. Ashe, amen, namaste. Okay? So we thank you, we love you, and be blessed. And this will end our Wednesday night, 7:30 service of Spiritual School of Learning. You also can come and visit us at 1519 Bartow Place in Greensboro, North Carolina. We have a service that starts at 1, hosted by Apostle Wayne Clapp. And then right after that at between 2 and 2:30, basically sometimes 2, sometimes 2:30, we kind of have a break there. Right after Wayne Clapp, we go into our service at 2:30. And come, be blessed. Come and be blessed. We got revival coming up September the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. And the name of the revival, the title, the theme is The One. Okay? The One. And what we mean by that, you will know when you come to this revival, because you will be revived to know the one and what it means. And then on that Saturday, it be every every Saturday 30 that night, and then at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, we're going to do a round table. So we'll repeat these things again. But we thank you for coming, and we love you, and be blessed.